Hey everybody, you can see I'm not a potato today. I changed back into human form, but I did get some cute little shamrocks on my cheeks. Today we're going to be talking about the rule of thirds, which is a very important rule as far as composition goes in photography. And this is going to be one of our last photography lessons. Next week we're going to begin looking at digital art and trying to manipulate our photographs on the computer. Before we get started, I want to share with you guys my three most recent posts from the MFMS Art Instagram page. If you haven't already, and you already have Instagram, feel free to follow. Oops. Play. These are the color wheels from not last week, but the week before. Great job. Notice the lighting in these photographs. The lighting helps show the objects. Scrunchies. There are no strong shadows across the objects. It's just really clearly lit. And this was y'all's first photography assignment. Can you spot the difference? In our first photography lesson, we learned how to take clear and in focus photos by first keeping our hands steady, tapping on the phone, and second, tapping on the phone screen to show the camera where to focus. It's also important to make sure that you clean the camera's lens so it's free of pizza grease. You guys are on your way to becoming fantastic photographers. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Keep up the good work. All right, let's look at these two photos. These are framed very differently. And I want you to think about what's the difference in these two. Which one is more interesting to you? Neither of these are particularly interesting. There's not a ton going on, but I would say our eyes are first drawn to the white part because it's light colored, and that white part moves in each one. Remember, we are studying composition. Composition describes placement of objects and elements in a work of art or photography. So these two photos have very different composition. When we notice our composition, we are paying attention to what will be photographed, how it is placed in relationship to other objects in the image, and how well the subject matter is expressed. Beginners usually shoot photos with the subjects right in the middle of the photo. You do that because the subject is important, just like that. One of the first rules of photo composition is the rule of thirds. Every great photographer knows this. Using this rule, the subject is not in the middle. You can see that the tree, the subject, is off to the side. How does this work? In your mind, you should divide the photo area into thirds with two horizontal and vertical lines, kind of like a hashtag. The rule of thirds tells us to place the main elements where the lines intersect, where the red dots are. So first step, hashtag, and then you put, in your mind, you notice the red dot areas. These areas are called the PowerPoints. Think about what parts of the photo are the most important. Move your camera to place the most important part of your photo at one of the PowerPoints. They don't have to be perfectly lined up, but should be close to the PowerPoints. This creates a photo that is balanced, interesting, and pleasing to the eye. So the bird is the most important part of this photograph, and it is right on a PowerPoint. Here's a demo. The sheep is in the middle. Now they move the sheep to one of the PowerPoints. The second part is a better photograph. Why the rule of thirds? The idea is that an off-center composition is more pleasing to the eye and looks more natural than one where the subject is placed right in the middle of the frame. This creates a more balanced photograph and it's more engaging to the viewer. You may need to move around to get the best composition. You move your body to make your photo look the right way. This forces you to think carefully about the shot and is a good habit to get into whether you're using the rule of thirds or not. Don't just stand in one place. Take a picture, move a little, take another picture. Think about what you're taking the picture of. To help you out, some cameras have a setting which overlays a rule of thirds grid onto your photo. This removes all guesswork and helps you get your positioning even more accurate. Yeah, even your camera phone might have this setting. And that could help you a lot. Check it out. Look around in your camera settings, see if you can find it. Mr. Smith told me to put this one in here because this is how he always remembered the rule of thirds. In hunting, you want your deer right in the middle of those crosshairs. But in photography, you want your deer to the right or left side in these crosshairs. I actually don't like hunting, but I want you guys to remember, and this is how Mr. Smith remembered, even though he doesn't like hunting either. So whatever helps you remember. Here's some top tips about using the rule of thirds in photography. When you're shooting a landscape, you'll put the horizontal line near one of the horizontal lines, the horizon line. And then put something interesting near a PowerPoint. So there's a person near this PowerPoint. There's a tree near these PowerPoints. If you're shooting a person, put the person off-centered and place the person's eye near the PowerPoints. If you're shooting a small subject, put something interesting at a PowerPoint. So the butterfly is interesting, and they put it near their PowerPoints. If you're shooting a tall object, be careful. The tall objects can split the photo in two. Position tall objects near a vertical line on your grid. That's all I've got for y'all today. I do not have an assignment for you today, so just review the information that I've given you, think about it, and you'll have an assignment for it tomorrow. Talk to you guys soon.